Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight as we proceed on this journey, this crazy scenario that our champions of Orlestrin have found themselves in. After ongoing efforts to collect the resources that they need for an airship that they found crashed in the mountains north of the city, they have devoted themselves to a slight tangent of a cause after one of their number had to depart the city under short notice and with an urgency that was not foreseen. We, of course, are speaking about Vi. We do miss Violet, as she had to leave under apparently a great threat from an organization collectively known in the Imperium known as the Clergy, in particular, a group that may be on the hunt for Violet. As they departed, the rest of our companions also had to deal with the ramifications of finding Violet's lost love, who died in Violet's arms just beforehand. In the wake of all of that anguish, the loss of a friend, the burial of another, they had to come to terms with what the future portended for them. And it was here that they met a new companion. Well, to some of them, a new companion. Sienna arrived. It seemed that they portended some of this suffering that was about to come to the city for someone, as the clergy have sent a group of Nostromo, religious hunters, you might call them, those that have been commissioned for a particular task at rooting out some of the corruption that exists within the Imperium, those corrupted by illegitimate magics or other unsavory elements of their spirit. And so as Sienna delivered this news of this impending Nostromo visit to the city, they set about trying to prepare, trying to learn, still all at the same time trying to gather the resources that they need for their journey, for their repairing of the airship. This led them to getting in touch with various allies within Orlestrin. One in particular, recently, that came to be known by the twins was Tamara, a wonderfully kind woman with a past that seems likely shrouded in a bit of mystery, that seems to have some kind of a connection to Bren, connection that maybe even to Bren is mysterious. And with all of this news piled on even more, the twins discovered that their parents were on their way to Orlestrin, likely a couple of weeks out at this point, all because good Mira seems to be having some trouble in school and has been set up, shall we say, to perhaps no longer attend the school that she has devoted so much time to. But that's for future Mira to worry about, because present Mira is more worried about a certain other companion, someone known from her past, an individual by the name of Phelan, who they have a interesting relationship with, and perhaps an even more interesting past relationship that we might learn a little bit more about tonight. As we dive back in, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, I forgot one final thing in my recap. As Mira went off to go in search of Phelan, everyone else ventured home, and they started going through some of the things that Violet had left behind. One in particular that caught Aidy's eye was a ring that was seemingly giving off sensations of emotion, triggering her gift, we'll call it, to sense such things. And as she reached out to touch the ring, she heard an audible gasp in her mind. But that's for a little bit later. As we begin tonight, Deb, Mira has gone in search of Phelan. She isn't sure where Phelan might be tonight, so she goes to the usual haunts. She checks Folk&Myth, Joke&Myth, the tavern that Phelan works at. Doesn't find Phelan there. Asking around seems to be that Phelan requested the night off when they were supposed to work. Not unheard of. Mira decides to check a couple of Phelan's usual haunts. No one has seen them. They're not around. And so, last ditch effort, Mira goes in search of Phelan's home. Place she's familiar with, certainly. Perhaps doesn't necessarily want to go there tonight. But all other options being done, she has no choice. The evening is now upon Orlustran. The suns have set in the west at this point. You can see the 3 moons in the sky above. There's ample light within the city, artificially created, the natural light that comes down from the moons. It's a nice, pleasant evening. Cool spring air rolling through. It's kind of quiet. You can even hear, as you travel to the eastern side of the city, you can even hear in the far distance the oceans, the violent currents of it smashing against the rocks. And it takes perhaps some of the edge off for Mira, as she isn't quite fully prepared for a conversation with Phelan. But it feels pleasant to at least make this portion of the journey anyway. As she crosses the various districts, leaving Hearthshore, leaving Mercantia, passing through ever so briefly the artifacts quarters, she heads to the outskirts of Villa Regale. Phelan has always been interesting in that they had said that they had some family money, and this was just a casual home through which their family owned that they were able to crash. Never really got too deep into that. Phelan, like Mira, did not like discussing family in too much detail. And it isn't like Phelan's home is as elaborate as some of the more stately mansions and luxury townhomes within the Regale. It's on the farthest outskirt that you can get. Doesn't have a good view. It's kind of crammed in between 2 much larger estates, kind of dwarfed by them, sits in their shadow quite a lot. But it's kept up well enough, and it's a nice little abode anyway. Certainly better than the standards of many of the other districts. Mira perhaps wondered at some point about it. Maybe she would ask such questions about it tonight, who knows. But as Mira enters Villa Regale, and she feels the cobblestone streets beneath that are much cleaner here than anywhere else in the city, and she smells the artificial perfumes from the magic that the wealthier individuals of the district pay for. She starts walking along the southern edge of the city towards Phelan's home, and ahead she spots a very, very large carriage sitting out front of Phelan's. She pauses for a second, not expecting perhaps to find Phelan with company, and then she sees the carriage driver step down, move around to the side and open the door, and two figures step out. The first is Phelan, except Phelan feels a little bit different as she looks upon them. She sees Phelan dressed in an absolutely phenomenally exquisite suit, something that the Phelan that she knows would find uncomfortable, to say the least. Phelan has always been distasting of anything that constricts their movement, and such form-fitting, precision-tailored attire is the last thing she would ever have expected Phelan to be wearing. Phelan holds out their hand as another very, very lithe and graceful hand protrudes from the carriage. And stepping out from the carriage, you see a tall woman of pure elven grace. She has an immediate air of command and authority about her. Her hair is this gorgeous shade of reddish mahogany, and it flows in waves down her back. You can also see in the moonlight, capturing her glorious emerald eyes, a slight glow to them and a keen awareness. She is absolutely dressed in the highest of fashions. You can almost see a blending of traditional attire with what must be the latest trends from the capital, and you can see the meticulous nature with which this woman dresses. She exudes power wearing such clothes as this. And there is a seriousness to her expression that is both awe-inspiring as well as slightly intimidating. Her beauty is absolutely undeniable, yet there's a strictness to it that feels simultaneously natural and practiced. Her whole aura speaks of influence and authority, and you can almost respect her from what you see, or maybe fear her. You're not quite sure. Either way, you are certain that it is intentional. Phelan escorts the woman down the carriage. They move to the footpath leading up to the home, and they stop about halfway. You can see the woman kind of pull her hand back away from Phelan and just gazes at Phelan. She reaches out a hand, places it upon their cheek. Give me an insight check, please, if you could. And while you do that, thank you so much, Scottish Jeff, for the bits, and Nerdy Natalie as well. I think all of you have an advantage at this point, thanks to the bit donations. Very much appreciated. We always absolutely love the support that you guys give us. What'd you get there, Deb?
Sorry, I had D&D Beyond open in the wrong window, so give me just a second.
No worries. Checking in with everybody else after all of that very, very...
I'm going to throw up, Miko.
We're not here. Don't worry about it. We're fine.
All right, I got a 23.
Okay. You are very practiced at reading Phelan. You know when Phelan... You've seen them at work when they have to, like, pretend to be interested in people's conversations, or, like, pretending to be nice when they want to tear someone's head off. You can tell that Phelan in this moment is extremely tense and is doing everything they possibly can to cover that tension. The elven woman, however, has a practiced ease with which she moves. And whilst you are fairly certain that there is an honest amount of care for Phelan, there's something else there too that you can't quite put your finger on yet. You just don't know enough about her to be able to make such conclusions, at least honestly. But there's definitely something more to the way that she is looking at Phelan. You're not quite sure if it's contempt or care, or it's difficult. But you also get the sense that this woman knows how to prevent people from really reading her. And she has her guard up. You're not sure what that means, but it's fairly obvious. There's a brief exchange of words between them. You're a little bit too far away to hear what's said clearly. They're speaking in normal tones. You can just make out a hint of, Phelan's voice. Hers is very melodic, and she speaks with that pure elven way. The tone that is carried through the air, it's almost captivating. They have this brief exchange. She leans forward. Phelan leans forward and places a kiss on her cheek. They do a goodbye. It's kind of a pause. But then she turns and she walks back towards her carriage. Her driver is standing there waiting. And as the driver holds out his hand and helps the woman into the carriage, you get a better look at the driver. And you easily recognize someone in clerical uniform. As she gets in, the carriage closes, the driver gets up and starts telling the horse to move along. A sight uncommon in the rest of Orlustran. You know now she's not from here. Most certainly. Carriage absolutely is not from here. Anyone that comes to Orlustran in a carriage doesn't understand the city in the slightest. And you see Phelan almost crumple in relief as their shoulders slouch and they turn and with very quick motion start heading inside, and you can see them tearing at the suit to pull it off. The jacket is off, the shirt is almost fully unbuttoned by the time they reach the door, and they quickly burst in through their front door. What do you do?
I am going to follow behind and not make myself known right away, and just go in behind them and make myself at home and wait for them to figure out that I'm there.
You're trying to sneak into the house behind them?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question for you first. You're going to need to do a stealth check, so you can go ahead and do that. But I have a question for you. I know that, Mira is half-elven. Her sister is half-elven. Her siblings are half-elven. Her parents are half-elven. How much experience does she have with full elven kind, knowing that elves are kind of rare?
Not a ton. I think perhaps there have been a few fleeting instances in which our mother in particular has had to mingle with the occasional elf, and whether it was some sort of soiree at our house or something, I think Mira probably has just seen full elves from across the room, if anything, and not personally interacted with many, if any.
Okay. Good to know. What would you get on that stealth check?
17.
Right. Failed. Okay. As you make your way up the steps, Phelan is halfway through the door, and you are moving in behind them, quiet as a mouse. And they stop, holding the door, and quickly glance over their shoulder and spot you. You're about 4 feet behind them. Give me an insight check, please.
$23.
Okay. There was an immediate sense of dread in their expression when they turned to look, and it softened as soon as they saw you. It was a heavy sigh. You shouldn't sneak up on someone like that, you know?
I just figured that it looked like you had a tough evening. I'm here to make it worse, I think.
Lovely. Can I at least have some wine while you're doing it?
Suit yourself.
Excellent. And they just head inside and they leave the door open. You see them throw the jacket basically across the room onto a nearby chair. They finish taking off their shirt as they move back into the back hallway and disappear into one of their rooms. What do you do?
I'll follow behind and, like I said, make myself comfortable, and you can make yourself more at home if you want. I know how much you hate stuffy clothes.
You hear from the back, thanks. There's a little bit of sarcasm thrown in. Do you make yourself at home as you sit down? You can see that the place really hasn't changed, like, at all. And there's almost a sense of Phelan's not like this. There's dust in one of the corners. You glance over towards the kitchen area and you can see that there's a decent pile back there. There's something off. Not quite right. And as they come back out, you can see that they have on one of their familiar red tunics that they like to wear, much more flowing, easier to move. You can see that they've also changed out of their pants into something much more relaxed and comfortable. They're walking around barefoot at this point, and they don't even look in your direction. But given your amazing insight rolls that you've had thus far, I'd say it's fairly easy for you to pick up on they purposefully chose to not look at you as they move towards the wine rack that you can see has quite a number of empty bottles on it. And they pull out a bottle. You want a glass?
Sure, why not?
Great. They pour a couple of glasses, pop the cork on the bottle, loop it under one arm as they carry the 2 glasses, handing one to you. And they sit down in the chair that they had thrown the jacket over the back of. Take a very, very long drink from their wine. There's a closing of their eyes. You can see almost every portion of their body relaxing. And then a heavy, long, drawn-out sigh before they open their eyes and look at you.
I think Mira has, like, subconsciously, from spending so much time in this space, she's, like, made herself comfortable, like, kicked off her shoes and, like, tucked her feet up underneath her without even thinking about what she's doing, because she spent a lot of time here, and it's still a comfortable space, and her muscle memory hasn't forgotten that.
Sure.
So I think she takes a sip of her wine and watches Phelan sort of slump. Fancy date?
No. That was my sister. She likes coming around every decade or so and delivering news. She likes to say she's checking up on me and such, but yes. Turns out you can be 500 years old and still be pregnant. My mother is apparently having another child, and I don't even know how to ration that. Her new husband is apparently very keen on it, and yes, well. It's been a rough few days. What about you? How's Aidy?
She's good. She's, I think, better than she's been in a long time.
Wonderful.
She's in a little bit of trouble, but that's Aidy's style.
Well, she wouldn't be 80 if she wasn't. Being honest with you, I'm glad that she didn't come back to work at the tavern. She never liked it. It was a shit job for her. She didn't need to be there.
She's worked her way through most decent places in the city, so.
And some indecent ones, too.
Yep.
I'm assuming that you didn't come here to talk about my sister and mother, so what did you want to talk about?
I'm about to tell you some things. I hope I can trust you.
Right.
You know, my parents are part of the clergy.
And you mentioned your father and what he did, and your mother being high up, and, well, I got the sense that you don't like talking about it and all that, so never pressed you.
I don't like talking about it because it's complicated.
Family always is.
My family is maybe more complicated than most. And I haven't wanted to talk about it because some of the secrets weren't mine to tell.
Let's stop you right there. If it's a secret, you don't need to tell me. If there's anyone in this city that understands the need for secrets, I do. Say you have a complicated family, I get it. Trust me, I get it. And that comes with its own kind of secrecy. I don't know what's going on at this point. But I do know you have people that very much care for you, and they aren't particularly fond of me. So don't divulge things that you're going to regret later, or that is going to cause you to get in trouble with someone else. Particularly whichever one of your friends likes leaving daggers and fish on doorsteps.
That was Violet.
You know, then. Do I need to even show you the letter that was delivered to me?
Oh, I would very much like to see it. Yes.
Wonderful. And they go over to one of the sideboards in the room, and they start digging through some things. You see them pull out a dagger and just set it down, and it very much looks like one of Violet's daggers. They mention, I got rid of the fish because it was already pretty stinky and didn't want it to stink things up even more. So, just 1 second here. They pull out this slightly crumpled letter, and it's folded, probably wasn't folded. You can see that as you open it, there is a distinct smear of dried fish juices upon it, and a cut through the center of it, like it had been pierced into the door. As a warning of sorts. And because, we have an audience here and I can't show them the letter, would you like to read this letter, which, by the way, Andrew wrote?
I very much would like to read it. F. I write this to remind you that you are a fish who thought themselves a shark just because you flounder in water. I am the voice in your head when you try to sleep. I am every second guess, indecision, and regret you ever had or will have. She still cares about you, deeply. Give her grace and time. Listen to her openly and honestly. Be present and validate her experiences. She deserves more than you. If you hurt her, you will not get another second guess, indecision, or regret. With vitriol, the consequences of your actions.
As you're reading that letter to yourself, Phelan just goes back over to the chair and slumps down into it. They pick up their wine glass and finish it. You see them hesitate as they reach for the bottle, but then they stop. So, I'm sure that it's not just Violet, but Violet certainly is the one that follows through.
You're lucky that it was just, stuck to your door and not hidden somewhere. She had plans, but I think she decided to be nice.
Right.
Anyway, the secret is Aidy's, and I have her permission. She told me a long time ago that I could tell you, but it wasn't worth the risk. Our family situation is complicated because she has cursed magic.
As you say that, they lean forward, their elbows upon their knees, their fingers intertwined as their hands clasp in front of them. Right? And given what little I know about your parents, I'm sure that that is not a pleasant circumstance in the household.
They don't know. Burke
Even
doesn't
better.
know. No one
Wait.
knows.
I'm sorry, Burke doesn't even know?
You're interrupting
telling
a lot.
me
I have a
something that-
lot of things to get through. So if you could just
Right.
let me explain, and then you can ask questions.
All right.
Aidy's magic started manifesting 10 years ago. And we knew growing up in the house we did that it was bad. It was bad to have that kind of magic and live here. So I, for years after that, begged all the Ascendant I could think of to give me magic so that I could cover for her. And they all ignored me. So I decided to take the wizard's path to make my own way, to get my own magic. And it was more challenging than I thought. I have been on the verge of failing out of Occam for several months. I don't know if you remember the meteor shower.
Oh, yeah. I remember it.
Aidy and Violet and I climbed up onto the roof of the cathedral to watch it. And we saw something fall. And we decided to go chase it. And so we went and found Violet's friend, Jawline. And we took a journey into the Storm Song Mountains.
This was your life and death adventure,
Yes.
right?
We found a ship.
Sorry, what now?
We found a ship. Crashed in the mountains.
I'm a little confused. There aren't any rivers that flow through the Storm Song that would be navigable by anything that anyone, especially someone as brilliant as you, would possibly classify as a ship.
It didn't travel through water.
You're saying it traveled through air.
Yes.
You're saying, wait, no, you're saying it traveled through air.
Yes.
Fuck have the clergy done now?
It's not the clergy.
Well, who the fuck is it?
People from elsewhere. From beyond the Imperium.
From beyond the seas.
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to fix it. We're going to leave.
You and Aidy.
And Violet and Bren, Jawline. And someone I just met, Sienna.
Hey. Pardon if this is a little bit abrupt. Why the hell are you telling me this?
Apparently you have a sailing background.
I mean, yes, 50 fucking years ago I was a sailor. Don't know if that's going to qualify me as, sailing through the skies.
Can you look at it and help us fix it?
I mean, maybe? At least tell me it's made of wood.
The ship parts of it are, yeah.
The ship parts of it are. Okay, right.
It's got a
Dare I ask what the other parts might be?
primordial magic.
Oh, lovely. Great. Can Aidy's gift help with that?
No, she's more, well, yeah, a little. She can...
Give me an insight check roll.
Yeah.
I love that. Well,
That was terrible, so I'm going to use my advantage. Thanks
Nice.
to Scottish Jeff for the bits. That's a little better, 16.
Okay. You pick up on the fact that he just used the word gift and not curse.
Aidy can read, feel other people's emotions.
Varl just donated you.
Thanks, Varl.
Another advantage.
Yes.
Got to keep one in the bank. Okay. Well, that explains a few things, I guess.
This is gonna sound crazy. The ship is alive? And
I mean, you've said a lot of crazy things already, and don't get me wrong, that's certainly high in the list in this ever-growing list of things I'm gonna need, and just give me a moment. And they reach out and they grab the bottle of wine, pop the cork, and start to fill
we
the
haven't
glass.
even gotten into the reason I'm here now.
Oh,
I mean, this is
lovely.
all part of the reason that I'm here now, but
Scoop up the glass and just
we're on a little bit of a tight schedule.
Right. By all means, continue.
Well, I said that I am, on the verge of dropping out of Occam. My mother found out, and she and my father are on their way here. So that's a fucking
Well, that's
delight.
something I can relate to.
This new friend, Sienna, that I mentioned, she is being chased by the Nostromo. And Aidy is sort of involved in that a little bit. I don't know, it's complicated. There's a whole bunch of stuff happening that's clashing. Anyway, all of this seems like it will be happening in a couple of weeks.
Well, if she's being hunted by a group of Nostromo, I can tell you very clearly it's happening a lot faster than a couple of weeks. The Nostromo, if we're talking about the same group, which I'm fairly certain that we are, will be here in about 2.5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know and understand trust and how it works. They swirl their hand and you see a burst of light erupt from it and start enveloping the room, and the room changes to the Folk&Myth bar as something that Mira can easily recognize as an illusion. My sister gave me the heads up about the Nostromo. She has connections. So I was planning on getting out of town for a little while. Now I am not certain if I'm doing that. Maybe I am. I don't know. Please don't take this as harsh. I'm not intending it. What do you want from me?
I don't know. Your help?
All right.
Looking at the ship? If it makes
right.
you feel any better, we have the attention of at least 2 of the Ascendant.
Oh, because that makes everything better. And it can scud off as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I still feel that way, but can't say it as freely anymore.
I'm not even going to ask to unpack that one.
I'll just tell you, I'm not a wizard. Apparently, Orlumis paid attention to me at some point and appeared while we were in the Siltwood, and Mira will pull the gem out of her pocket.
Starts glowing with a radiant light, and it flickers almost like a pulse. Okay. And you just decided to unload everything tonight of all nights. Okay.
If I didn't need your help, I wouldn't be here.
No, I believe me, I understand that. I'm not criticizing you, and I'm not saying that to flippantly to. It's just the way my luck has been running. Will absolutely help you. You, I hope, know that. I can't be here if the Nostromo are here. If they find me and they make an example of me, there will be ripple effects and consequences that go across many different people within the Imperium. And I can't even fathom what that will result in.
We can't be here either.
Okay. Well, that's something at least. It's been a long couple of days. And as much as and I mean this truly, love looking at you, I need to think about things for a night. Can you let me do that?
Of course.
Right. Before you go, they reach down to their left ankle. They lift up pant leg a little bit. You see the symbol carved into it. They look up at you and they say, "I didn't have it healed."
Neither did I.
All right. I'll come find you in the morning then.
Our apartment is home base for now, so we're usually there.
Great. You really should think about telling Burke. You know he absolutely adores and loves the both of you in the purest possible way.
I know. Aidy wants to get rid of all of our secrets before we leave, so...
He's going to be devastated.
But she'll be free.
And you kind of see at that moment that he understands better than perhaps earlier your motivations. Okay. I'll see you in the morning then.
Okay. Mira will start walking toward the door, and as she passes by Phelan, she will just touch their arm briefly, and she's going to cast protection from evil and good.
You do that, and their head snaps up to you, recognizing what you're doing. And you can see tears kind of forming in the corners of their eyes. They blink and wipe them away. And they stand up, and for the briefest of moments, they turn towards you, but then they turn away and start walking down the hallway away from you.
I will make my way out and head home.
Wonderful. Speaking of home...
Can we just take 45 minutes or something and sit with them?
Deep for a little while.
45 minutes.
Just a quick 45.
Do you need some time to process something, Ben?
No, this is great.
This was glorious.
So, back at home base, we find our trio of companions sitting around the table. Variety of things cast about across the table that you guys have been looking at. Bren partaking upon his gift to look of psychometry to look at the various items and try to fully understand as much about them as possible. And Aidy giving in a little bit to temptation, perhaps, to the emotional connection that she had with the ring, just casually reaches out. And as your fingers brush against the cool metal of the ring, and you hear in your mind the audible gasp of someone not yourself, the world around you falls away. Suddenly you are plunged into a profound darkness. void where reality thins and shadows dance at the edge of perception. It's like perhaps a nightmare shaped by emotions rather than substance. In this swirling, shifting, ephemeral shapes around you, wisps of fear curl into smoky tendrils that anger flare up like brief, bright flashes of firelight that illuminate the darkness with a harsh, reddish glow, only to fade as quickly as they appeared. Sorrow pools beneath low moving, tugging at you like tar, threatening to pull you down into the nothingness. And amidst this turmoil, there are of your own subconscious, perhaps someone else. They bubble within this void around you before dissolving to nothingness. You see flashes of battle, the clang of steel, and the sharp crack of magic. Faces of people flicker before you, their features contorted with rage, sorrow, desperation, or grim determination. The most potent is the sense of betrayal. A jagged shard that pierces through this maelstrom. It cuts sharply into your psyche, a horrible, agonizing pain. Mixed with a fierce protectiveness, you echoing your own fears and doubts about trust and loyalty. As you stand in this void trying to make sense of the chaos, a voice tearing through the darkness, frail yet clear. You can feel the loneliness profound within it and a desperate plea for answers as you hear, "Sacrifice? Was my sacrifice in vain?" It implores, drawing you towards a semblance of order in the chaos, guiding you toward a light of awareness that you're only just now perceiving, and away from all of these shadows of despair. You are yanked from this void in shocked violence. Bren and Sienna both grab at your arms to keep you from falling as you throw yourself backwards. Your breath is gone from your lungs, and you're fighting to take in each gulp of air. Wheezing, your heart races, your head pounds. Bren and Sienna, two of you saw Aidy just touch the ring, and then all of a sudden, in a burst, throw herself backwards. If you hadn't been sitting as close as you are fairly certain that she would have flung herself violently and hurt herself tremendously. But you managed to catch her arms and slowly bring her to the ground in a sitting position as you see her catching, gulping every single breath, her hands both instinctively reaching up to hold her head.
Oh, fuck. Oh, jeez.
You okay there?
No.
I need a wisdom save from you, Aidy.
Okay.
Also, with the violence of that, both of you, Bren and Sienna, you can, of course, decide how your characters would react to seeing such a thing. I'm not going to do anything to change your will in that, but if you would like, you could make insight checks as well.
Yeah, I'd give it a shot. At disadvantage. So.
Yes, because Sienna is not very good at reading people.
No.
Oh.
What did you get on that wisdom save?
19.
Okay. Brett, this is as crazy of an experience as Aidy's ever had, of course. But she is gaining clarity through it. She knows everything that I just described. She has full recollection of what transpired. For her, it felt like, an eternity, even if it was only the most fraction of a second. For in real time, she is aware and cognizant despite the pain in her head and obviously the difficulty in catching her breath. What'd you guys get for insight checks?
19.
I got a 10. I'm going to
Okay.
ask, is this normal?
Yeah.
Sorry.
A little bit crazy for you, Sienna. Bren, you are fairly certain that you understand, given you know what the ring does, you know what it's capable of. You are fairly certain that this has to be something with Aidy's innate magic, and you don't know right now if it was intended to be as violent as it was, because Aidy is very quickly coming around to it. She's obviously, affected by whatever caused it. But because she has cognizance and coherence, even if it is muddled through pain, I don't think Bren would understand that he would understand that there was not any malevolence in whatever just transpired. if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, I'd like to take a moment, if I could, to set a mind link between myself and Aidy. And then with that mind link, I'd like
Give
to
me
use
a
something.
spellcaster ability check, please.
For sure. I'm using my advantage because I really want this to happen.
Okay.
That's better. Was it 13? 17.
Okay. You make the mind link. There was a moment where you felt as though something was fighting the link, which you don't normally get.
Right.
So that was new. But what's additionally new and confusing for you is as you establish this mind link, there's another link. You can feel the presence of someone else linked to Aidy's mind as well. And also, Varl Gem just gifted you another advantage because Varl's awesome like that.
Thank you. So with that mind link connection and kind of feeling that there was another presence there that was kind of battling the link, I kind of want to, he's going to set Aidy down and he's going to look at her and he's going to go, I don't know what's about to happen, but just breathe. And he's going to put his hands on her head and he's going to use encode thoughts.
Okay, can you go ahead and read that for me and tell me what that does?
Says, if you cast a spell while concentrating on a spell or an ability that allows you to read or manipulate the thoughts of others, you can transform those thoughts or memories you read. So I'm using this just to read that second link. It allows you to instantly receive whatever memory, idea, or message the thought strand contains while I'm holding that thought strand. So it's specifically focusing on that second line.
Okay, so what, so this lets you give someone else a memory, I think.
Well, this
way
lets me, technically, it lets me pluck a memory Dumbledore style out of this person's head and put it into a tangible space.
Ah, gotcha. And so I'm assuming that the person has to be willing, first of all.
Doesn't say it. Doesn't say they have to be willing. We can go that route. I'm down.
Well, let's add, would Aidy be resistant to whatever is going on? Not
No.
fully, understanding what Bren is trying to do.
No, she's freaked out and she trusts Bren. So whatever he's up to is fine.
Okay. So in looking at the spell, it's your thought.
It's my thought. Okay.
Yeah, that you're encoding in this way. However, because I like the ingenuity, I'm going to say that through the mind link, you can attempt to pull a thought or memory from Aidy because of that mind link and the fact that Aidy is willing. Normally, you wouldn't be able to do that, particularly if the subject was unwilling. But because you're kind of stacking your abilities here, and it's a pretty cool idea, I'm going to roll with it. I like it. I'm assuming that you're going with whatever thoughts or whatever the most recent thought is that you can pull, whatever's at the forefront of Aidy's mind. That's what you're attempting to pull.
Assuming it was something that about what just happened. Yeah, the first thing that I can grab onto.
Okay. So as you do this, the thought, you experience a similar sensation to what Aidy did, only yours, it's almost like you're observing from afar. It's like you're watching what transpired for Aidy in a television, right? That's what you see. So you don't experience it to the nth degree like Aidy did, right? And so you yank this thought, and normally when you pull these ribbons of thought for yourself, for you to be able to remember again later, because you've done this before to yourself, normally when this happens, the ribbon is a color based on whatever emotions are attached to the thought. And you've never seen a black ribbon before. And as you pull this ribbon, it starts swirling with an uncontrollable chaos. You're holding this tendril of magic in your hand, and it is like trying to hold on to a slippery frog on your farm. It's trying to escape your grasp.
I'm going to attempt to control it from escaping.
Yeah, you do. You're able to.
Yeah.
But I'm just letting you know that it's fighting your grasp.
Okay. Perfect. I think Sienna kind of sees like Bren as gracefully as he can lets go of Aidy, and he's got his hands kind of clasped together as like these little small wisps of black ribbon are poking out between his hands, and he's just like really focusing on his hands to maintain this. And so with that, I get the same thing that happened to Aidy. Well, not physically, but the voice, all of this.
The voice, the manifested emotion, the fragments of memory in the chaos.
Is there a suggested check that I can make to kind of clarify what this is, who this is?
Give me an Arcana check.
Sure. Ooh, it's going to be a 22.
I would say with the 22, you understand fully that there is a presence within the ring. The ring contains emotion and memory and a voice. You don't know what that means entirely, but there's something or someone inside of the ring. And as you're coming to this... Sorry, go ahead.
Is Aidy still holding or wearing the ring?
No, the ring is sitting on its band edge up on the table.
Edges.
Okay.
Does
Sienna do anything in these moments before we get to Aidy?
Very confused. Lots of stuff is happening. I am very interested. I think I know a little bit that, Aidy and Mira are a little bit different than other people. So I don't think that I probably am going to get affected by this ring. So I'm just going to grab it.
Poor Sienna. We're so fucked up.
You reach out and grab it. Give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Mm-hmm. That is in D&D Beyond, not in. Let me just go into DD Dice. So 7 plus 3 is 10. I will use one of my advantages, I believe, because
You've got one.
Use it. Okay, so that is a 13.
Okay. A 13 is good enough. You reach out, grab onto it, and then immediately drop it as you feel ice crystals form on your fingers, and your hand is numb, and you start shaking it. Ow, I shouldn't do that. Your hand is numb, and you start shaking it, like to get the tingly sensation to go away, and you see frost like ripple around the ring that fades from it, and it's back to standing up on its edge.
I think it's.
And you also just got another advantage from Varley.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much.
Specifically for touching the ring.
Yes.
Because, I mean, of course you were. So I will now go back to Aidy. You have awareness. Your breath is coming back to you, even if it is labored. What do you do?
I'm sorry. Are you okay? I'll look to
Yeah,
both
as you
of
see
Sienna. Yeah.
I think so.
Am I still wrestling with this thought?
Yeah, I mean, it's fighting you. It's like,
Yeah. Are you okay? Sienna's like, yeah, I'm all right. And I'm like,
What the hell is that?
yeah, you tell me. It came out of your head.
sorry.
Could be anything. Okay. Can you let it go? I don't know what's going on here.
I don't think that would be the best thing to do right now.
Can you put it somewhere? Do you need a jar?
Do you have one?
Of course we do.
Yeah, you
Right.
could, direct
All over
Sienna,
the
you could
place.
direct Sienna to where they're at, and Sienna can grab it for you. You're not sure if you stand up right now that you're going to be able to keep your feet. So
Okay, yeah, just in the cabinets, maybe a jar. Did you see that, Bren?
I
Or
did.
hear that or feel it?
Yep, I did. What's the business on that jar?
Sienna comes back with the
I
jar.
didn't know you wanted me to do prop work.
He puts it in the jar, seals it closed. It's probably like bouncing on the table.
No. You need to make a check.
Oh,
It isn't as simple as just dropping it into the jar. I need
help
for. Yes, you can offer assistance to Ian, but Ian has to make the check, and so you will be rolling this with advantage, and it is a sleight of hand check. I think would be the most appropriate thing.
Oh, great! Let's do this. Yeah, I'll take that. So it's a 15.
Okay, you barely get it into the jar.
I'll take it.
Your DC was 15.
Okay, hey, we'll take.
You get it into the jar, and Sienna is like almost a half a second too late in snapping the lid on the jar. As you put it into the jar, it starts throwing itself against the jar. Like Sienna is now like doing the salsa.
Are we
Holding
talking
onto the
like
jar.
The toaster from Ghostbusters 2 like style?
Yeah, kind of.
Sick.
And so, yeah, Sienna, you're like holding on to the jar now. As Bren, you turn back to Aidy.
He turns around and he legitimately goes, huh. Whew, all right. So that was like the first time that I've done that on someone else. Normally it's me. I'm old. I've never seen that color.
I don't know what the fuck you're even talking about.
Oh, do you want the long or short of it?
Very short.
Aidy, by the way, as Aidy looks at Sienna and sees this ribbon of magical energy violently throwing itself against the jar, she is getting an overwhelming sensation of fear coming from the jar.
Okay.
I can do this thing where you take thought strands out of my head. Usually it's easy to stop worrying about stuff. I was able to do that for you, but again, the worrying thing, never seen that color, and it's never been this violent.
Okay. She sits heavily on the couch and just sort of puts her head in her hands.
Question: have you had that thought before? I know what it said. I know what you heard. Have you had that thought before? Is that the first time?
No.
This is not the first time.
No, it is the first time. I have not had that thought before. I don't know what the fuck this is. The ring, it just... Yeah.
Could you scoot that ring back in the bag? Don't touch it. Just put it back in the bag.
Okay.
Jar 2, please.
Okay.
And the jar.
The jar's kind of freaking me out a little bit.
As you're sitting there watching the jar, Aidy, it stops being so violent, and you see it wilting into the smallest possible mote of magic that it can be, like hiding in the lid, crevice, corner, darkest spot within
It's dying. We have to clap.
the jar.
Just thinking the same thing.
Okay, since it seems to be chilling out a little bit, I'll take the jar from Sienna and just sort of like turn it over and look at it a little bit.
You see the ribbon just like holding as still as it can possibly be.
Can I like? Is it? Am I still feeling the fear from it?
Oh yeah, it's fear mixed with almost like emotional pain.
Can I? And am I also like getting vibes from the ring across the room too? Is that still?
Yeah, you're still getting vibes from the ring that are kind of almost like loss mixed with that same fear that you're getting from the ribbon.
Okay.
I have a question
Yeah.
for you. Has Aidy ever read the emotions of a person with mental health difficulties?
I would say yes. Because she lives in a city surrounded by people and everyone has some stuff.
I'm talking about the kind of stuff that you would be hospitalized for.
Sure.
Potentially against your will.
Yeah. Possibly not then. I feel like...
Give me an insight check, please.
Yeah. Okay. And I get advantage because of my ethereal insight? Does that apply?
Yeah,
Here?
it would actually.
Okay.
Can I tell that Aidy is trying to figure something out? I can cheer her on. And I'll give
Well,
inspiration.
I I got a dirty 20.
Oh, you don't need my help. Never mind.
Sing me a
Sienna
song
sits down.
anyways.
As Sienna can see Aidy trying to figure something out, and she goes to like try to help her with some of that innate magic of her own. Aidy, you start to understand a little bit about. You've dealt with people that have trauma before, right? You've sensed that, and this is something very akin to that, only taken to like the nth degree.
I'll bring the jar to the table and sit and put the jar right next to the ring.
Okay.
And I want to...
It's still like, so the just to envision this, the jar has like a cork top, right?
Sure.
And whenever you have a cork top in a jar, it's beveled, and so the moat of arcane energy has kind of sandwiched itself between the bevel of the cork and the glass of the jar, and it's unmoving.
Why do I feel sad for this fucking thing? Jesus. Okay, so I sit at the table, the ring and
an awful person,
and the jar, I guess, are in front of me, and I want to touch both.
Okay.
And I want to try to connect emotionally a little bit, and maybe not kill myself in the process.
I need a wisdom saving throw, please.
Super.
Guidance.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Do I get anything? with guidance?
Raven is very much questioning your actions.
Listen,
Chat
Raven.
way.
Listen, Beth would never. 80 would.
I like it. Playing true to character.
Yeah. 17.
Okay. Is that with the guidance, the D4?
No, what do I get with... Okay, D4.
The D4.
D4,
Da. Hey. Okay, that's +4. 21.
Nice. Nice.
Thank you.
As you hold the jar in one hand and reach out and grasp the ring with the other, you don't get all of the violent reaction that you did touching the ring moments ago. Instead, you feel the void without experiencing it, if that makes sense to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like you are perceiving emotions through a cavern. And the emotions are like echoes, I guess would be the best way to describe them,
Okay.
that are coming down this long cavernous tunnel. And you hear the voice again, hesitant, scared. You're almost overwhelmed by this sensation of loneliness and sorrow. Hear a face in the dark. Friend? Oh?
Am I hearing the words in my head, or is it like...
You're hearing it and feeling it.
Okay. Then just
It's
like
definitely coming from the ring. It's not coming from the ribbon.
Sure.
Super quick, do I catch any of this with that mind link still up?
No. You don't catch what's said. You catch something is going on inside Aidy's head. But your connection is not to the other connection, it's to Aidy. She's like a conduit in a way. So it's kind of like you're talking to someone who's talking on the phone, you can hear Aidy's side of the conversation, and you can hear like the little tiny tinny echo of someone's voice.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm going to respond and just say, friend.
There's an almost audible sigh, and some of the loneliness kind of shifts a bit, but there's still a almost overwhelming sensation of sorrow.
I want to put the ring on. I'm going to put the ring on. I put the ring on.
Okay. You put the ring on. Nothing seems to change for you. You
Okay,
feel
great.
it a bit stronger, perhaps. I'll give you an insight check if you want.
Absolutely.
You don't get your ethereal insight from this one, though.
That's fine.
Does she go?
I am going to use my advantage, though. 19. Thank you,
Okay.
Varl, and everyone.
The 19, I will say that you are also picking up on a very, very closed off, guarded hopelessness. You should know that I, as a GM, don't use that word lightly.
I don't say anything, but I try to send as much just empathy and maybe hope, but I don't know what's going on, so it's not very strong. But just as much care as I can through it.
Okay.
I'm skeptical. I don't know what's going on, but I do feel someone's pain. And for that, I can offer empathy.
All right. Varl gave you another.
Thank you, Varl.
I will say that Bren is able to pick up on that intention from Aidy. Because of the connection, he knows what Aidy's doing. He doesn't necessarily know why, but he could surmise reasons why.
Do I feel like Bren and Sienna's anything from them?
I mean, yeah. You're focused a little bit hard right now in the ring, but like I would say that you could pick up on any strong emotions from Bren and Sienna. Bren and Sienna, we'll start with Kay. What are the strongest emotions that Sienna is feeling right now that Aidy would pick up on?
Definitely confusion and concern, I think, are the main two. And then a little bit of fear and worry in the back. But
great. And what about Bren? Actually, she would have a more fuller grasp on because of the mind link. So what is Bren feeling right now?
There's concern. There's this also like huge, like, I don't know how you would describe it, but like this questionable feeling, like, what are you doing? And then just a little dash of, I'm kind of hungry. Since you have like a strong link, you feel that too. Like,
well, now that you say you're hungry, I'm also feeling hungry. I'm
stressed.
Bren is a stress eater.
He's a stress eater.
100% relatable.
As I'm like trying to send these emotions through and I'm making this connection, I can feel that they're both like, what the heck is going on? So I'll just say, there's something in this ring and they're in pain and I don't know what to do. And then I just sort of like keep trying to send the vibes.
Bren or Sienna have
talk
any
to them?
response? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you? Are you talk? Who, them? They? A conglomeration? Like
It sounds like a single voice.
There is a slightly feminine quality to the voice.
Sure. I'll
ask
be
for their
reminded
name.
that that
Whispering
we
at
have
you like you're on the phone.
talked.
Ask for their
Yeah.
name.
I'll just ask who are you?
You don't get a response that you would have anticipated. There's confusion from them. And you hear them say, whispers that are always murmuring. They never cease. Can't you hear them too? You did kind of hear them in that initial burst, but you don't hear them now.
I heard them through you. Friend, remember. I'm Aidy.
Cold. So cold here. Even time freezes. How long? How long has it been?
Since what?
Cold.
What happened?
Shattered pieces. Fragments. My mind. The mirror. And you make it whole.
I can try. How do I help you?
Lost. You, my guide, are in another illusion, haunting me.
I'm real. I can try to be your guide.
No, the light, it dims. It is going. False promises. All of it. And then all of a sudden it snaps. You feel nothing from the rain.
Fuck.
And I will say at that moment is when Mira comes in the door. Can you describe the scene, everyone, where you are at individually in this room at this moment, and what expressions there are upon your faces that Mira would see?
I definitely have an image. It's like Aidy's like holding on to the ring, focusing into it on one side of the kitchen. Bren's in the middle of Sienna and Aidy, like hitting that raptor, calm the raptor pose, just like, but we're all just kind of waiting for Aidy to do something else. We're just like,
the way that I'm picturing our apartment, I'm sitting at the table, but like my back is to the door. So you see Bren and Sienna at a bit of a distance, and me just sort of like hunched over the table,
full
what about
expression like
Sienna?
this, like
Yeah. Sienna's definitely like towards the back, quite a ways from Aidy, but definitely still staring at her. She's like forgotten how to people. She's standing at a really awkward angle, like staring like mid some action. She can't even remember anymore.
Sienna's halfway up the wall, like spider climbed their way up there, just like.
Backwards Spider-Manning it. Nope. So, what about Mira when Mira comes in?
Mira looks at this scene in front of her and she just is like, what did you do? What happened now? I left for a couple of hours. What is happening?
You're home.
Are you fine? Is this fine? What is happening?
Aidy touched something and
Of course she did. Are you okay?
Aidy does not turn around to see you. She's still very focused. And she just says, there's something in this ring. Someone. They need help.
We have enough people to help.
Hey, Sienna, could you start making some tea?
Mira, she's in so much pain. I don't know what happened. I don't think she's alive. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I'm assuming at this point Mira comes into the room enough to like see the table.
Yeah.
So she can see the table and she also sees the jar. And she sees this tendril of arcane magic trapped within the jar, wedged. Give me an Arcana check.
Speaking of Spider-Man, it's like a little bit of venom and just
Yeah, kind
buzzing
of.
around
That's
in a
actually a
jar.
very apt description.
16.
I think she would recognize it as a wisp of memory. She also has never seen one black before.
And the memory in the jar? What?
That was Bren. Can't pin that on me. I don't know what happened. This is stuff from Vi's dad, and I felt emotion from the ring, and then someone is talking to me through it, and they feel awful. I don't know how much more of this fuckery I can handle, but there's something happening here. How's Phelan?
PG.
Yeah.
I got some tea. Gonna bust around some tea real quick, and then go outside of the room and peek in.
Oh, you can stay.
I'm a little scared. That's for my protection.
It's fair.
I'm a little scared.
I think Mira wants to cast Detect Magic and see if she gets anything from the ring and the jar.
Absolutely. So the ring is 100% abjuration magic, and it's very potent abjuration magic. And Bren had kind of described to you guys previously that the ring is meant to shield someone from having divine or divination magic, like it shields their mind from that. So you know the purpose of the magic, and it gives off a very, very strong sense of abjuration. knows this. So the moat, the wisp, is giving off strong enchantment magics, which is 100% within the realm of normalcy for it. However, along with that, I would say that you're also picking up a slight twinge of transmutation that you think might be something to do with Bren kind of twisting the magic to do something more than intended. Which, it's not unheard of for mages to do that sort of thing. You're just probably a little surprised that Bren was capable of it.
Like
You're
I
not
said,
picking up anything from either of them that you would attribute to being like bad.
like I said, we have enough people to help. We have enough problems of our own.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I can't hear it anymore anyways, so maybe it was a fluke.
Oh yeah, Bren would also immediately know that the other connection was cut off. Somebody hit end call.
Bren, you're still connected to me though, right? You are getting a lot of what the fuck, for sure, and every variation of that. But you can also, she's got just like thoughts of like, I can help. I can make this better. We've got a lot to do. This is a really stupid thing. But the emotion of all of it was so strong that she's just like, I can fix this. This is something I can fix.
Got it. Bren's gonna grab the bag of holding. He's gonna put the jar in the bag, and he's gonna walk over to Aidy, and he's gonna go, let's take a break, and just hold it out for you to put the ring back in the bag.
Aidy just sort of looks at the ring on her finger.
It'll be here.
She'll take it off.
As soon as the ring is like almost off of her finger, she immediately feels a sense of anguish.
Oh, fucking shit. I can't. I'm sorry. I'll put it right back on.
It subsides.
I'm sorry. And you're like hearing the mental processing of what she felt.
He's gonna gently grab your hand, and he's gonna slowly take the ring off and just look.
No.
There's pain coming from the ring.
Stop, please stop.
It's not causing Aidy pain, but there is pain and suffering coming from the ring.
Please. I won't do anything with it. Please.
Tethers are not to be messed with.
Let her keep it for now. I don't like it.
I don't like it.
But and I'll look at Aidy. I have to start trusting you to make your own choices.
Oh, what a time to start with that.
It's fine.
I'm sorry, Brent. Just not. I can try to take it off later. It's just.
No, it's fine. Just again.
Okay.
Tethers are not to be messed with, and he puts the ring back on.
As you put the ring back on, the suffering is still there, but everything else kind of subsides. The suffering just lingers a bit. It's going down slowly.
Yeah. Well, after that's back on.
If it starts talking to you, if it starts doing anything,
you're the first to know. And she slumps back on the couch again and just sort of.
She is emotionally spent.
Yeah. So, how is Phelan?
Fine? Not fine.
How are you?
With all of this, I don't know how I forgot, but the Nostromo are going to be here in 2 days. So
2 days. Looks at
Yeah.
Sienna. 2 days.
What?
2.5.
How did Phelan tell you that?
yes. And I
Okay.
have good reason to believe them.
Sure. Fuck.
They know about you now, by the way. I know you said I could tell them.
Yeah. How'd they take it?
They're like you. So
Okay.
No shit. Huh. Okay.
they really want you to tell Burke.
I really want to tell Burke. Is that stupid?
No.
But it's stupid to tell mom and dad, right? Like, I feel like it's so fucking stupid. But I can't get it out of my head. I don't know. That's another problem for another time, I suppose. So they just told you straight up about their magic then?
Sort of.
Huh. Interesting.
I don't know. They didn't say very much. They seem to be connected to something big, and they said they can't be in town when the Nostromo come.
Feels familiar. Are they going somewhere specific?
They'll be here tomorrow morning. And
Oh. Really, Mira?
I was told we needed help with someone who knows about sailing.
She's just looking at you like, I don't know. So, is Phelan coming with us then?
I asked them to look at the ship
Uh-huh.
to see if they can help us fix it.
Okay.
Ship parts.
So much is happening right now. Okay. So the Nostromo are going to be here in 2 days. Tomorrow morning, Phelan is going to be here with their magic to help us fix an airship to leave this godforsaken country. Sometime soon, Mom and Dad are coming. Don't we have dinner also with Burke? Like tomorrow, tonight, sometime?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night? Okay.
Yep.
And you're getting kicked out of school.
I mean, yeah. That is the least of anything on my mind at this point.
What time of day is it right now?
It's like
Your time.
almost midnight.
Oh, great. Okay. Yeah, because I was going to say I'm exhausted, but guess it doesn't really matter what time. Mira, what do we do?
About what?
I don't, like, just right now, what do we do?
I think you should go to bed. I
don't
mean, I
wanna
think
go to bed.
we all should go to bed. But clearly whatever
Okay.
happened here took a lot out of you.
I don't feel great. Sienna. I'm sorry. That is just a broad blanket statement for everything that's happened since we met. Thanks for being a trooper. This is not typically the type of mess that we invite into our lives. We are messy.
This isn't the worst mess I've been a part of. So
Okay.
this is your family issues. For me, small potatoes.
Okay.
That's more you folks need to figure that out. I can help you with the Nostromo. I can't help you with Burke.
No,
Unless one of you
that's-
doesn't want to be there, I can figure something out, but
What?
Like, what does that mean?
I'm pretty good at disguising and like makeup, and I don't know. We're all half elves here.
Huh.
They would definitely know it was me or not you. But
You're gonna
That
do the thing. You're
is
gonna do the thing now.
cool. The thing? There's a thing. What is today?
I mean, okay, Sienna, would you like to do the thing now? If not, that's fine.
okay, we can do it in the morning. This is probably enough for one day.
Might be a good thing to go to bed on.
Make you happy to wake up in the morning, right? Something to look forward to. Right?
It's quite interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a thing.
Just-
Great. One more thing that we have to look
Oh,
forward to.
It's a fun thing.
Great.
This
Just-
feeling that the both of you are having right now, right? I had the same feeling when 3 half-elf girls knocked on my
Yep.
farming door.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Oh, we've grown so much, Bren. Sienna, no, I just thank you for being here and for just continuing, I guess, to be here despite everything. It's good to have you, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, you've all been very lovely. It's been very exciting knowing you. I'm excited to learn more.
And more you will learn, I am sure.
Probably too much at some point, but
Yeah,
for now.
yeah.
Once we get
Oh.
into Truth or Dare, you'll learn a lot more.
Oh yeah. You'll have fun with that. It's pretty good. Well,
Wait, I've seen the look on the face Bren's making. Yeah. It's gonna be great.
He loves it secretly. He won't say it, but he loves playing Truth or
he's
Dare
mostly a
with us.
party pooper. He doesn't like to play, which is not fair, but you know.
At
Does
this
anyone else
point,
need
what's the,
anything
reason?
from me? Can I excuse myself until tomorrow? Okay. And Aidy will just go over and hug Mira and like lean maybe a little bit too much weight on her for just a second. And then just stalk off to her room.
As Aidy is leaving, I need to ask Kay, are you going to do the thing?
Next time.
Okay.
Next time.
Mira will look at Sienna and say, I'll go in with Aidy. You can have my room. Make yourself more comfortable. And Bren, you, I don't know, become a rug or whatever it is you do.
Wow. Well, thank you. I will enjoy it, I'm sure.
Mira, when you get to Aidy's room, she is just face down on her bed. Like, just spread out and face down. And there might be just a little bit of Tina Belcher groaning happening.
Oh, nice.
Move over.
Fine. She'll just sort of flip.
Long night, huh?
Yeah, long day, week, months. I don't know. Are you okay?
I think so. I went over to Phelan's prepared to be mad, and I think I'm mad at myself that I'm not mad at them.
Yeah. It's hard to be mad at them, though. Fucker.
They still have our initials. I know that made you mad.
Mira, I had forgotten about that. It's fine. It's fine. I've done more stupid things today than that, so.
Maybe more rash things today? I don't know about more stupid.
It was pretty fucking stupid, Mira.
Yep.
Just sorry. I'm sorry.
Nope. You're right.
It's old stuff. No, I'm just kind of beat. Are you good with Phelan helping?
No, but it sounds like they have to get out of here too, so. I don't know, maybe they'll help us fix it and then we'll part ways, who knows?
How fucking stupid is it that my secret and your secret, kind of also Phelan's secret, and we all just sort of sat with them and let that fester.
Yep.
Do you feel better for having told them?
I guess. I think there's still a lot of stuff about them that I don't know.
Yeah.
Which concerns me.
Yeah.
It was nice to not be fighting.
I bet. Where were they? Joke and Mirth?
No, I walked all over this goddamn city looking for them. I went to Joke and Mirth. I went to all the places they usually go and finally went to the rich fucks district. They were at home. Well, they were just getting home. They were with their sister. And I don't know.
They have a sister.
She seems fancy. So
Is she... That's not an appropriate question. Why do I care? Is she as hot as Phelan? I just have to know.
yes, she is. Yeah,
Is she also ancient?
I would guess. Oh, he said something about his mom is 500 years old and pregnant, so that's wild.
What?
I know.
What is even happening right now? Everything is fucking crazy.
Yep.
Oh my god. Can we just, like...
Oh, they said that they were glad that you didn't come back to Joke and Mirth because you were too good for that place.
I mean, I don't know about that. But I'm also glad I didn't go back. So are we not mad at Phelan right now? Is that a thing?
No, we're mad at them. It's fine.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
But we'll
Just
see
tell me
when
if it changes.
they
'cause
show
I'll-
up tomorrow, what the vibe is.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Just when you wake up in the morning, tell me if I should be cold or
Here's the
cool,
problem. They're
like-
so fucking charming that even when I
know.
want to be mad, Oh. Violet pinned a fish to their door
She did it?
with a note. It was amazing. I told
Oh, I
them she
love her
was
so
lucky.
much.
Yeah, I know. Oh, and I'll pull out the sending stone and just say, Violet, Phelan got your message. They were properly threatened, I think.
I love you.
We miss you.
You get back a response. Phelan better fucking behave. Love you too.
Yeah, Violet's finding it out there. I love it.
So
Wow.
as the twins chit chat their way off into a night of sleep, would Bren and Sienna, would you guys like to do or discuss anything before I let you all take a long rest?
2 days, sis. What happened to 18?
That was halfway through when you finally got back.
It's 2 days now. They're like at the door.
Yeah, we're boned.
I mean, to be fair, just so you guys know, that is along the same time frame that Sienna had told you guys last session.
That's not what Bren is.
Doesn't
he's
matter
not-
right now.
he's- It doesn't matter how he 2 days.
2 days.
What are we gonna do?
We can do a lot in 2 days.
Obviously not. It's 2 days.
Well, I guess maybe one less because it's midnight.
This is.
Sorry, that's not helping, is it?
I was just going to convey that you do understand how serious this is. Like, I mean, you're not going to be. I'm sorry. This is probably in bad taste. You're not going to be able to slink yourself out of this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just one person. It's almost an entire troop. I'm exaggerating, but it feels that way. And then here's the biggest thing. These two, like, I'm actually happy Vi's not here. So there's no direct interaction, but these two being dragged into it, this is bad.
Mm-hmm.
This is really bad.
We have to get the ship working. We gotta figure that out. Hopefully, bringing the girls into the fold will help us strategize, use me more effectively.
Honestly, I'm at the point to where we should just pack up everything we can and just head to the ship and stay there.
Yeah, that's probably the best idea. Well, we'll have to break it to them. I'm sure they're not going to be thrilled to leave their house sooner than later, but we should probably start hiding out there when we can.
Well, I mean, the
biggest thing, apparently, I don't know if I want to be here for that, but I'm pretty sure they want me to. We have to get their parents comfortable with anything. Also, did you pick up on the fact that Phelan needs to leave town too?
Yeah. And like from what I understood, like their family is very influential, so I don't get why they're running for the hills. And
I have an idea. He's got magic, affluent family, works with the clergy. The Nostromo's coming to find people who have that type of magic. He's in hiding.
Yeah.
Or at least he's going to. It's the same thing that Aidy's doing. Affluent family, da-da-da-da-da.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah. It's probably why he likes her so much. Or they like her so much. They're the exact same person.
Oh no, I don't like that. Yeah. I'm thinking about Mira now. Okay.
But think about it, right? It's funny. It's really funny. Two different kinds of love. A sisterly love and then something else. I don't know what it is. Hate? Kind of, maybe.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. If Phelan can help, we'd have to convince them. But it seems like Mira's already convinced them most of the way, so just a little push.
I don't trust him.
You don't
I really
trust
don't.
him?
No. I don't trust them at all.
Well, we'll have to vet them thoroughly. And if they're running away anyway and they disappear,
Off the mountain they go.
Yeah. Right? If we can get in the air, once we get in the air, golden. Probably.
Yeah.
It's good.
All right. Well, I'm not staying here. I'm pretty sure the girls are hungry. I have to go do that. Also, there's a guy running around here, and I kind of got this thing going. So,
Okay.
yeah. It's about that time too. I think they start their night shift. So,
Okay.
I will see you. Oh, also, the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you comfortable with that?
I'm not thrilled about it, but we're at a crossroads, and
you don't have to do it. No, you absolutely say the word, and it will be shut down.
you can take their memory things.
I wouldn't.
No, it's
I
fine.
wouldn't. Honestly, I'd probably just do one of these. Just want to.
Oh,
that's yeah.
Pretty effective sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. It's work. Okay. Anyway,
Go have fun. I'm just gonna sleep.
All right. Then Bren leaves, and then you kind of just hear like a low bear growl
As he just walks out the front yard. It's full bear form.
There will be news reports tomorrow about a bear loose in the city. But yeah, thankfully, Bren, you have truly delved into your use of your animal forms to help speed yourself along, because going back and forth to the farm is pretty long. So you're not going to get a ton of sleep tonight if you want to make it back in the morning. But I'll give it to you that you can use your animal forms to kind of expedite the process a little bit.
Yeah, honestly, the biggest reason he's going back to the farm is so that he can disconnect. Like, it's, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he does technically also need to take care of Piper.
You got it.
Piper, Phoebe, and fuck, I can't remember
the best of the three. Prune.
Prune, yes. So yes, you head your way back to the farm to take care of your animals and such, and cause a little bit of chaos on the way. Everybody else, Prue, yes. Did I say Prue? No, I thought I said Prue. Better
that's perfect.
instead proof. Yeah.
You got it.
The rest of you settle down for your evening of sleep. It comes very quickly for Aidy. She's just exhausted. Mira probably lingers a bit, lost in the myriad of thoughts from the day, and Sienna, being the enigma that they are, probably starts snoring in the next room.
It starts initially as like a ironic honk shoe, and then it devolves into an actual snore when they finally fall asleep.
There you go. But you all find your sleep. You're all able to get a long rest. Aidy, or halfway through the night, Mira is awoken as Aidy is trembling in her sleep, gasping and murmuring, obviously experiencing some kind of a dream or nightmare. You're not sure which. But that's for next week's session, because that's where we're going to call it for tonight. Thank you so much, everyone,